To see how it plays out for them now, going up against Stranger, who as well had a very impressive performance against their previous opponent.
Absolutely. The match is about to start. We're going to go to the map soon to see where exactly everyone's going to go. But again, this is a Temple, and this is also a best of
And
three, a last best of three for the day here, Blue.
and something to note real quick before we get started, neither team has an elementalist.
Hold on to your
It's actually really interesting. I don't think we've seen a match without an elementalist on either team. But here we got the
Nope.
oh, come on, man,
boy.
please.
Oh, yep,
Please.
yep.
Yes, fight. Go in. Let's go in with Karmi, Blue. Let's see what's going on. That stealth fight, not pulling exactly the Tie Alliance thing that we saw earlier, where they just bypassed each other entirely and went to their far points. But we're gonna see Karmi go use that Basilisk Venom on Holy Song here. Holy Song's already down, and Datyo and Karmi gonna come in, and there's the stomp on Holy Song X there. Let's see what else is going on the map. Lots of Necro Obese going on all around. Kameu's going to come here, try and get the stop off on Kawaii, but no. Dacho says, you're going to get rezzed, my friend. And it's Kameu who comes down. Karmi's going in for the stomp, and he gets feared away. But here it comes again, once more with the stomp from Karmi. Karmi's doing a great job so far, getting so many points for his team already. It's 28-18, and it's just a few seconds into this game here. And it looks like Odesk is going to be going up against Ood and Plymouth Beats up here on the midpoint. It's a 2v1, but I think that, you know, with optimal control, a Guardian on the midpoint here can take that 2v1. Here comes the rest of Red Team for support, and also Red Team is actually putting a lot of pressure on Henge as well. It's going with Datyo. Datyo is doing so much here. He's on that point. He's dropping turrets left and right, and he's just going crazy on the opposing team. And now he's going to disengage here. Kameo is going to kind of cut him off. He might actually go down. The Necro might get him if he doesn't get away fast enough, and I think
Keep in mind
good.
he does have automated response, so as long as he keeps us up below 25% health, he's pretty much immune to most, if not all, of the damage that Necrovex is going to put out, because of the fact he can't be afflicted by Condis.
Absolutely right. And he's rejoining with Odes and the rest of his team here at mid under the key point, and he's going to be able to just really help contribute to the rest of this team fight. Ood is down, and I'd like to see someone go over and stop him real fast. You just peel off, but Dayo's going to go up onto the midpoint and keep, and I think Blue's going to be forced back here into defending mine, because I think that's where Red is going to be heading next after the defense of keep here.
Indeed, taking a look at this now, Strange World heading back over here to the far point, actually, choosing to not utilize and go for their close point. Taking a look at mine, let's see the reasoning behind that. Just seems, I guess, they don't want to take on the pressure that's over there in mine, and I guess Hen just seems like a freer target, which it actually is a completely free target, so that obviously makes sense there. They may actually try to take Blue's boss as well, which I think they are going to do, but they have to keep in mind that the Blue Team Ranger is creeping around the corner, so you could try to come in and steal that.
Absolutely. Let's watch this fight as Holy Song kind of tries to come around here. Whoever takes this will take the lead, undoubtedly, and that's Red Team with it, 137 to 101 now, and that's the stat buff. So let's watch as the fights go down all across the map. Datyo is now engaging Ood over here on the Henge point, and he's going to be dropping down so many of his tools, popping into the grenades, and so look at the amount of AoE he can get done on everything blue on the Henge point. Rolling into that wall, not that's such an annoying thing to do when you're actually playing. It's just not having the full control of where you need to go. But looks like Kawaii and who's over here?
Over the Henge?
Oh, yeah, on. I think it's Karmi that is over here for a second. Yeah, Karmi's disengaging. She's going to be heading towards Keep to try and keep that lockdown for the Red Team. The gap is slowly widening. Odesk is having a little hard time here dealing with Plymouth Beads and Kameo over here. Mario Oops is coming in to support. Here comes the Sun Spirits. This is what Mario Oops build is built for, of course. All of these spirits, and man, it's such a strong thing when it's used in a great composition.
Indeed it is, taking a look at Mario Oops' build right now. Now, the interesting thing to me is the fact that he's only running with one spirit, because in the North American, I'm not sure about the North American meta, but the EU meta for Rangers has really almost shifted entirely to, like, 3 Spirit Rangers. So the fact that he's only running one of these is kind of surprising to me. I guess he still thinks that Signal of the Wild and Signal of Renewal is, in my opinion, still pretty good, as it really wasn't affected. But just, it's an interesting thing to see over here with the different meta.
Absolutely. Now it looks like Raceline is actually camping his home, the far point for blue, as Mario Oops and Odesk are going to try and come in here and aggress on mine. Meanwhile, if we look at the map, let's see, we can kind of see that the action is evenly split here. Sort of everyone on Henge and everyone on mine fighting for these points. I think that we're going to see kind of a cycling of who has these. Red's going to take their home, Blue's going to take their home, and there's going to be an interesting fight for the center shortly after these fights go down. However, it looks like Red's doing a decent job keeping everyone off the point here. Datyo and Kawhi are doing fine, and actually, let's go in with Datyo. He's the one running. I think he's got his. He had his potion gun or elixir gun out. He was spraying people up from right here. He's going back into his grenades here. So much AOE, and of course he's gonna pop all of those the poison grenades. Just so much condition damage as well. But no, Kawhi gets stomped. Datyo's about to go down, and it looks like Blue's gonna wrap things up here. It's a 3v1. He goes down. Here comes the stomp from Holy Song and Ood, and there it is. The stomp goes off. They'll lose that point. Red will lose that point rather momentarily as Mario caps the mine point for the red team. It looks like Karmi is kind of positioning herself to keep Blue from sort of using this momentum to go straight across the map and fight at mine here.
And indeed, we are going to be seeing Blue team move up here to the key point now. And I would just like to interject that I think I saw the reasoning behind what Red Team did there. Now, despite the fact that Blue Team really wanted to come in there and aggress Henge, we also saw Red Team aggress Mine, and that was actually a pretty good switch, because while they did lose Henge, they were able to get their home point back, and in the end, having your home point is really going to be better than having the far point, because you have closer access to reinforcements if it does get aggressed. So that was a pretty smart switch up they did there as the Henge point was being attacked.
Absolutely. Now it looks like Odex is finally going to get knocked off point in the mid by Ood. There's so many people here descending upon this point. Let's go in with Ood. He's at very low health, just over 3k. Popping that heal. He's going to be fine, blocking literally everything that comes at him, but Odex says no. He's going to ward everyone in, saying you're going to be stuck in here with me. He's actually going to go down. Here comes the stomp from Ood. Odex has that stability, and there it is. Let's go in with Odex. He's doing such a just an amazing job being able to do the damage as a that he needs to do as this bunker is just pretty much an incredible sight to see. He's really bunkering like a bunker should, you know?
Indeed. And we also had over here, we just had a Cameo, so good. Cameo just got knocked down as well, and Racklin over here actually was just pretty susceptible to condition damage that was coming in there from Datyu, who was throwing that in pretty heavily on him. Actually, I think he went down there, but actually now he managed to keep himself alive. But nonetheless, he was still getting, his Raceline is sort of teetering on the edge of death here against Datyu, but luckily with reinforcements he has been able to survive. But nonetheless, Datyu, pretty impressive condition damage he's outputting here.
Absolutely. Now we're seeing Raceline get the stomp in on Datyo. He is, of course, helped out by Ood. That 2v1 will ensure that victory there. But red team is up so far, 460 to 251. Blue has no points. There's going to be a huge fight over here at mine to try and figure out who's going to take that point. It's going to be Mario going up against Plymouth Bees, and she's going to do just fine as Holy Song is here in for support. Let's watch Mario as she actually. Hold on a second. Let's watch Mario as she tries to take out Plymouth Beads and Cameo. It looks like Cameo is trying to either chase someone down or just get out to heal herself. And there's going to be so many marks going down on this point in just a few moments after she switches out to her. After she switches out to her staff, and it looks like she actually won't be able to get the chance to do that as Kawhi and everyone descend on her. And here's the stomp. No, not even the stomp. Someone got feared, but Karmi comes in with a stomp and also gets feared. And there's another fear. And finally, the DPS from Mario knocks her down.
And looking now at the middle point, we already have this engaged as well. Odesk has been holding off a 3v1 for quite some time. Unfortunately, it does seem like his time has come as he's getting knocked down here now. Ood is going to come in to finalize the stomp. Unfortunately, teammates are arriving now for SW, for Strange World here, but it does come a little bit too late. They are going to be, get here. No, don't get me wrong. They have gotten here early enough to contest the point. The issue is now they don't really have that Guardian there to bunker and soak up any of the condition and or burst damage that the Guardian would normally do. So this fight, if they this fight is just generally going to be a little bit tough for Strange World to win because of the fact they don't have that bunker ability there in middle right now.
Absolutely, but I think that Datio will actually be able to do enough damage to keep the point at least contested with in combination with Kawhi. But there's just so much blue that keeps showing up here. Karmi is down off point to get stopped by Plymouth Beads, and oh my god, this is not looking good for the red team. They actually don't have a point. They're split up right now between their home and the midpoint here. Odesk is actually managing to keep Raceline off the point, and they'll get it momentarily. But this is sort of a where you can see blue coming back actually, if they manage to keep all the points.
I mean, it's gonna be tough, but it's possible. Like I said, it's gonna be tough, and when I say tough, I mean really tough. But like, they still have some breathing room. It's just gonna be tough though. Like, they have considerable control over mine, although they're about to lose that now, as 3 of them have grouped up to go for that, which was a smart idea, honestly, by Strange World there. And it's so long, but now we have Holy Song coming on here. They might be smart actually to sort of just send each other one by one at this point to delay as long as possible. Because we're playing with longer timelines, we don't have to worry about time. However, red team has just finally capped it now, so these points are going to start ticking again, unfortunately, for the blue team. And I do think that we are going to see them take the game here in a couple seconds.
Absolutely. Of course, Dario is also going in on Henge, and he's going to be fighting Plymouth Beads. It's going to be an interesting fight as he drops his supply crate, his turrets down. Plymouth Beads needs to take those out so he can begin to take down Dario very fast. Meanwhile, mine is still the bloodbath that it has always been, pretty much. Kameo is over here in the death shroud. She's probably going to go down very soon. There's just so much damage going on her. Raceline is up. Doesn't even matter as red wins. And there it is, guys. 500 points for Strange World to the 387 points of Vampire Katana. It's actually one of the closer games that we've seen so far.
It actually is a very close game here between these two teams, and I really think our next matchup is going to be a toss-up. I can't really predict who's going to win that one, because there was, you know, in all, I kind of saw blue team coming back in there for a couple seconds. Obviously red team was already pretty close to winning that. But this one could be a shakeup based on its secondary mechanics, which real quick, let's see if you want to explain those, Cyrif.
Absolutely. Now, if we go into the map view, we can kind of see the layout of the map. Of course, on either end of the map, there is a red or a blue base, and if you break into your opponent's base and kill the Guild Lord, your team will get 150 points. And if you do, of course, it's easier said than done. There are, of course, 2 layers of NPCs and a gate to get through, and of course, don't forget about your enemy team respawning there all the time. And that's a strategy that we see a lot of people going for. We'll see people get 350 points off the caps and then just rush right in and all in on the Lord just to get the kill, and that can of course make or break your team, as you know, it's sort of allows your enemies to get the 3 cap on you, and it's basically a timer and saying like I can end this game in basically the next 3 or 4 minutes. Come at me, bro. Yeah, that's Cyrif's interpretation of what a Guild Lord rush all in actually means.
Well, alright. We're just gonna wait real quick here, guys. So keep in mind, this is a best of 3, so if Strange World takes this one, they're gonna be moving on into the winner's bracket final to take on, I believe, Hard to Carry was the winner of our last bracket? Yes?
Absolutely.
So they're going to be moving on to take on Hard to Carry if they win this one. However, if Vampire Katana takes this one, we'll be going into a round 3 on the Battle of Kylo to determine who moves on to take on Hard to Carry. But do not fret, as the loser of this set is not eliminated yet, as we are still in the winner's bracket. They'll be bumped down to the loser's bracket, but they will still have a chance at redemption.
Absolutely. Of course, guys, don't forget to follow this channel for more Guild Wars action. Blue is pretty much streaming almost every day, and honestly, just came off a 12-hour stream, and then we've pretty much stayed up all night to do this stream as well. Guys, this guy is dedicated to bringing you the quality content that you want and you deserve. So follow Blue, and it's going to be amazing. So the match after this will be MFC versus You'll Be Adjusted. Of course, that's in our losers bracket. But you know, if this game goes to Game 3, this is going to be our first Game 3 that we've seen for the entirety of the tournament. Excuse me here.
You got a telephone call there.
Yeah, but of course the phone is right next to my microphone. So. There's nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. But
it's
yes.
fine. So after this one, we are going to be moving into match Q. If you're looking along with us in the challenge brackets, it's going to be MFC versus You'll Be Adjusted. And shortly after that, we're going to be moving on to match P, which will be Tie Alliance versus the loser of this set.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. We're just waiting on everyone to ready up, and it looks like we're just a lot of people not ready. Both teams kind of discussing strategy, trying to figure out how to get the best out of their compositions and what have you. No real composition change-ups in this round of this match. We're seeing pretty much exactly the same thing as the first game here.
To say the least, I think both teams realize this is probably the hardest match they've had yet this tournament. And obviously, winners finals is going to be a pretty prestigious spot because it is probably it's definitely a spot you want to be because when you're in the winners bracket, you're pretty safe in terms that you could, even if you lose that, you still have a pretty decent chance of coming back to the losers bracket. So obviously everybody wants to get in that winners bracket final position, so they have that pretty safe chance of getting into the finals as well.
Absolutely. The match is about to begin, and it is their last chance to nail down their strategy. And I'm really excited to get into this. Will SW take the series here 2-0, or will we be going to game 3? Time will only tell, and let's look at the map because that will only tell what the strategy is here, Blue.
Indeed, taking a look at it right now, we are going to have Red Team's Ranger heading over to Quarry. Another Ranger from the Blue Team will be going to contest that. We're going to have the Thief and Engineer from the Blue Team go to Waterfall. We also had another Thief and pretty much a complete mirror, literally a complete mirror from both sides here. Engineer and Thief going to Waterfall, Rangers going to Quarry, and Guardians and Necromancers going to Middle. So literally both these teams have perfectly mirrored each other for the start of this game.
It's actually quite hilarious. You're seeing Holy Song versus Mario over here on the Quarry. In the Graveyard, we're seeing the major skirmish. There's not really anyone on Waterfall. Of course, as I say, that Karmi goes and tries for the decap. You might just get it as Raceline is trying to get up in there, but he's going to get knocked down and forced out. But Karmi's going to move away. Let's follow Karmi as he goes back into the action on the midpoint here. And he's going to try and damage down this turret before walking into the big skirmish here in the middle. It looks like Red's going to be fine, though.
Plymouth Beat just snuck in there, and again, yep, there's that Thief on Thieves gank again. Thieves are...
That is the gankiest gank I think I've ever seen, because I think Karmi was fine, and I looked away for like a second, and he was down.
Of the few games you see where both teams have Thieves, those two Thieves will be hunting each other the entire game. It's like a secondary mechanic to them almost, so we just saw an example of that right there.
Absolutely not. I'm in with Karmi still. It looks like Ood is going to take on with Odesk, but Odesk is going to banish him out and pop that warding so they can't come back in quite yet. And Red Team's having a hard time just nailing down Blue here and keeping them off the point. They really need to do that because they're actually behind 17-35 here. Everyone is here in mid. There's no side point meta. Everyone is just going in and fighting for this middle point.
Indeed, we're seeing that right now as we just actually had a stomp go off, I think, on Race Fine there. So he's going to be knocked out, unfortunately, giving Red Team the advantage here in this middle fight. Going to Karmi's point of view, seeing who he's focusing, it does look like they're going to be trying to take out the Necromancer here over here on the Blue Team Karmio. And look at those conditions on him. It's actually pretty smart to throw those conditions on him because he was in his Plague form. He was going to be pretty susceptible to that. At the same time, Karmi has gone down here now. They try to get him in, but it's not going to matter as they did manage to get the rally off there, bringing him back into this fight.
Odesk has gotten like 2 or 3 kills in a row, and Dayo actually got Ood as well. This is ridiculous. Red Team is keeping the sustain on by killing the other team. Everyone was so low on the Blue Team. Of course, as I say that they're all respawning. Red is locked this down, and Quarry is actually being taken by Raceline. He's coming up here off the res. He's going to be joined by Plymouth Beads, and Mario is going to come up here with Karmi. This is a 2v2. It's going to be really interesting. Also, Dayo is going to get the waterfall capture point as well, and it looks like everyone's just bailing out of mid, and now the side point fights begin as Raceline is going to knock Mario out. She's going to take a lot of damage, but Camille is over here as well. Plymouth B is going to try and backstab over here, shooting her from the fringes, and actually Odesk and Kawaii are just rocking in here. Karmi hanging back, popping that Shadow Refuge, going to try and do some clutch ganks here as really Red is going hardcore on the quarry, and it looks like just now Holy Song and Datyo are going onto the mid. This is really a huge fight on the points here, with really only 2 fights going on at a single time, and no one's really doing that back capping action that we're used to seeing.
Indeed, taking a look at this middle fight here, we actually have Dayu holding on solo, and I think Blue Team had a pretty nice thing going for them here because they because Red Team got so focused over there at the quarry. It's allowed Blue Team to sneak in there, and they've now taken out the Engineer. And I think they're going to take out the Necromancer as well, as if Red Team doesn't get reinforcements in here quick enough.
But we're gonna see, Karmi is coming in as well as Odes. They're gonna get reinforced, no problem, momentarily, and it goes to show how great the communication is on both teams. You know, they're gonna be, they're definitely in voice comms, telling each other, oh no, I'm getting taken down, I'm on 1v whatever, and I need help, and then they're there, and here comes just so much aggression from the red team. They're defending their points at the death. They're up 159 to 101 of the blue. Where is the blue team? Let's open up the map and find out. They're pretty much spread out. We're seeing the Guardian and the NG going towards Waterfall. Meanwhile, the Thief and the Necro are kind of in the quarry-esque area, and the Ranger off the respawn is coming in to deal with Datyo. It's going to be a 3v1 that kind of needs to get out of. It looks like Ood is going to be popping down that shield, and here comes Kawhi and Karmi. This is going to be a 3v3 in just a second, and this is again another great example of those side point team fights that we're going to be seeing here, that everyone is just, they're actually just straight up bailing out of the mid. Here comes Odes, and the only remaining member of the red team that's not here is en route to here, and this is a crazy thing. You don't really quite see that often, Blue.
Well, this is a risky play. Again, I went over this a little bit earlier with, I think, some of our other teams as well. By all winning on this, you're pretty much risking it all. But first of all, what you gain on this is you delay your enemies because you're going to keep them involved in a lengthy team fight. In addition to that, you run the possibility of getting yourself a 3-cap as well. But at the same time, and this is the part that I don't like when the few times I actually play with an organized team, is that you're going to risk yourself losing a lot of people here, and with that you could lose your 2-cap, and you could even flip around against you and make you get 3-capped if you're not careful with it.
Absolutely. Now we're going to see Plymouth Beats and Holy Song going for mid, really peeling off here as Red has decided to sort of keep the aggression on. Odes getting stomps on Kameu. Dadyo is going to finally get a waterfall point, and of course Mario has that quarry point locked down, and what this is going to do is it's going to enable Red, now that it's done with these side points, to kind of just fall into the middle, and that's not going to be good for Raceline, Plymouth Beats, and Holy Song, as they're going to be the victims here if they all converge at the same time here.
Indeed, seeing this now, I think Red Team's sort of grouping up around the edges, maybe not to engage, but more to preemptively await orders here from the Blue Team, and we are seeing that now, the Ranger from Red Team going over here to Quarry, so I think what we're going to see is the Red Team trying to sneak around as well, but they are going to have to split their forces because the Blue Team is trying to push both the side points in addition to holding Graveyard.
Absolutely. If we look at Quarry, we're seeing Mario. She's being taken on by Kameo and Raceline, but here comes Karmi to come help. And looks like Karmi's going to jump right into the action, popping that Basilisk Venom. Raceline goes down, and after that, popping that Elixir S, and he's going to get the stomp. No problem. There it is. There's a flag to the face. It looks like Odes is trying to ward in the enemy over here, and he's going to do just fine. Kameo is going to be actually trying to die on point so they can get that cap neuted, but no, she's going to be taken out momentarily. Meanwhile, let's see where the rest of Blue is. They're sort of just roaming around here. They're in the mid, but they're also kind of close to Waterfall. Datyo is having trouble dealing with these people. It's Datyo and Kawaii versus Plymouth Beats and Holy Song, and it looks to be actually, that's just a pet, but it's fine. It's a 2v2 here that Datyo actually abandons the point to get off of. Raceline comes in the back to also do some support here as well. He's going to be forced off the point, popping into his grenade kit, doing lots of AoE, but unfortunately everyone around him is managing to evade that damage, Blue.
And now this was a great call for the Blue Team here on the numbers game part of it, because they called out to their teammates that there was so many people over at Quarry. They were like, okay, green for go over here at the Waterfall, and they were able to come over here and get that pretty easily away from their opponents. However, now at the same time, Red Team has taken advantage of that and has started to aggress middle, which in all honesty, I think they still, with that as well, have done a pretty good job holding that.
Absolutely. Ood, this one-man army here, managing to keep the point in Blue's favor, even though there's so much red in it. I mean, he's just not dead. He's pulling out now to kind of to get healed and come back into it and get back into the fight. You can see he's empowering himself now, and that's going to give 12 stacks of might to pretty much anyone around him if he gets it off. Let's go in with Ood. Popping in that shield form, he's going to try and do a lot of control right now. He's going to try and pop back and keep Red off the point, but he's not, unfortunately, not going to be able to do it. And he's using the scepter. Odesk is locked down off point, but here he comes. He might come in and try and banish it away, or just try and get Camille off point as well. Yeah, Odesk kind of, I think he missed that banish there, but that's all right. He's going to be going back into the fight here. Mario's going to go down momentarily if he doesn't get it. Yep, Mario goes down. Odesk goes in for the res, gets the res off, and pretty much immediately Camille's really low. If she gets focused down right now, she's going to go down as well. Camille does go down. She's in the down state. Can the stomp go off? We're going to watch this. No. She is knocked. Her body gets knocked away by an explosion. Let's see if anyone notices this as she tries to just stay away.
It actually, I think it got trolled by his own teammate there because the flesh golem rushed in there and knocked it back. It sort of didn't matter though because they still took it down at damage, but the stomp was actually screwed up by his own teammate there.
That's hilarious. That actually might have saved his life momentarily. Unfortunately, the damage just did so much. Let's look at Quarry, where Carmi and Mario are dealing with the race line. So race line doing a great job of just being a general annoyance for the red team, but the red team has 430 points right now to blue team's 250, and they just got Graveyard. Actually, race line neuted the Quarry point, and it's still not in the in red's favor here. That's going to help blue team so much, but Mario's on the point again. Carmi is actually down. He can res himself probably. His raceline is probably going to be... oh no, here comes Ood. And raceline is going to be in position to come and do this. But like, it looks like Ood is going to... Actually, no. That line of warding not going to stop Carmi from being res by Odesk. Odesk gets locked down off point. And so it looks like raceline and Ood are the only blue presence here on the quarry point. But they're going to be taken down momentarily. As Carmi is straight up in the air off that shield of absorption, and oh man, raceline is down. Ood's trying to res. Carmi trying to kill him, and it looks like, oh no, he gets the res off, and Quarry is still at anyone's point here.
And red team again, one of the teams again is really having trouble finishing off the game. They're only 40 points away from winning, and now blue team has the chance to come back. Again, don't get me wrong, it's a very slim chance because there's only 40 points left in this. But if blue team is on this map, to say the least, if blue team's able to get themselves another 50 points, they can rush Lord if they want to. So red team needs to be careful as well. Now they need to get some points. They need to finish this off pretty quickly.
Absolutely, and it looks like Red's going to be able to get this point as soon as Ood goes down, and of course, that is easier said than done. Raceline is here as well, and there's so many turrets on this point here at Quarry. Meanwhile, Graveyard just seems to be Odesk getting speared. Kameo managing to get that stomp. They're gonna get mid here, and meanwhile, Datyo and Kawhi are going in on Holy Song and Plymouth Beads over on the waterfall point. This is also a very close fight. It doesn't look like it's gonna be. Oh my God, Plymouth Beads gonna go in on Datyo, getting that Basilisk Venom, but this is gonna be such a long fight. I feel, man. Looks actually. Did Red get Quarry yet? No. Red's got nothing. Blue is coming back very strong here.
Yeah, and they're only now 4 points away from rushing the Lord if they want to. Red really needs to watch their tail right now. Let me go check over here at the waterfall again and see what else got going on over here. Red is making progress in that cap, but I don't think Plymouth Beads is going to give it to him. Maybe they will, maybe? I'm trying to see here now if blue team is actually going to rush for Lord, because really that's somewhat blue team is within range of it, and at this point it might be their only option.
I'm seeing Kameo up on the rocks in the midpoint. Totally has the option to run over and grab the Lord, but Carmi comes out of the red base here, trying to figure out exactly what's going on here, and that's kind of exactly what we're trying to do as well.
Yeah.
Datyo's got the waterfall locked down, but Holy Song comes over, trying to figure out how many people are where. Kawhi and just Kawhi is on the midpoint here. Red team is kind of really split up here, Blue.
Red team is really split up, but I think that was the reason they were like having trouble getting points to themselves as well. They did manage to get this point over here, and if they hold it long enough, they are going to win it, which is why I'm telling the blue team now they're really their only option at this point is to rush Lord, and even now it might be a bit too late for that.
I think it's too late, Blue.
The split up there did delay the end of the game, but I do think now with red team getting this waterfall that they are sort of going to end it here within the next couple seconds. Absolutely.
It's 493 to 390. Another close game, but it looks like SW is moving on to the winners finals.
Indeed, I think we are going to see that. Strange World, our only Japanese team here today, is going to be moving on into our winners finals. They have secured that spot, and they will be taking on Hard to Carry for that final spot in the finals. However, Vampire Katana is not out. They're going to be moving down into our losers bracket, where they will be taking on Thai Alliance there in just a little bit. But guys, we're going to be going to our next matchup in just a couple seconds. We got 2 more games left for you today, which is going to be MFC versus You'll Be Adjusted. Following which, we're going to be doing that Vampire Katana match versus Thai Alliance. So let's go back over to our webcams, and yeah, I think that's actually all we needed to say. So
Actually.